Good to see you again, survivors. Today we're going to be covering some of the map with a quick breakdown on all of the spawn locations, loot spawns, popular PvP spots, the friendliest locations in the game where people build their bases, as well as vehicle spawn routes to find the hatchback and the crashed helicopter. So let's get right into it with the Chernarus map breakdown. So we're going to have to spawn in first, somewhere along the coast. Now, where could you possibly spawn? Let's break it all down, I'll show you. So you could spawn north up at Svet, a little further down the coast at Barancino, maybe a little south of that at Solnechy, or Kamishovo, around the bend, or the big old city of Electro. Finally, we're going to have Chernarus and the coast between it and Electro. Now, the westernmost point is going to be at this lighthouse here, on the coast just outside of Chernarus. Once you're in, you're going to need to start getting some loot. There are a couple of very popular loot spots that I'm going to highlight for you here. If you look around all the yellow spots, that's going to highlight big towns, military bases that you're going to find good loot at, but we need to break it down into a tier system. Tier 1 covering the whole map, Tier 2 covering the northwestern side, Tier 3 close to the northwest airfield, and Tier 4 directly on it and the military bases around it. This impacts the type of gear that spawns, with higher tiered gear spawning only around the military base at Northwest Airfield. Now that you've got yourself a gun, it's time to put it to use. There's a bunch of different places you could encounter players all over the map, but certain areas are hotspots for PvP no matter where, when, or how it goes. Breaking it down, we're going to touch on the major cities, great places for loot but also PvP. The Northwest Airfield being one of the most dangerous places undisputed on the map. Then the military bases around the outskirts of the map are also pretty hot spots considering how dense they are with loot. Visit these places and rack up your kill counter until you're sick of dying and losing everything.
Jesus Christ.
And then kick back and find some friendly roleplay locations where you can meet players just like yourself who just want to enjoy their experience. Now, these aren't all the places you can meet friendly people anywhere, but mostly along the eastern coast. There's also an island to the southeast that people like to use for roleplay situations, and the Green Mountain on many servers is considered to be a friendly trader zone. So, head on out, grill some meat, cook it up with your friends, and kick back. Enjoy the parties, but remember, there's always the exception to the rule, and it doesn't mean you're always safe. Someone might always come out and deal with ya. Coming off the back of the role-playing, player bases. There's a lot of locations you can build these, anywhere on the map almost, but there are certain areas that you're better off finding one if you're looking for one or building one. Most bases are built in the northwestern part of the map along the border, but there are certain good spots in clearings around in the forests that you could find a good base stashed somewhere. Now if you're going to go raiding and trying to get access to the juicy loot, definitely recommend bringing a sledgehammer and a hacksaw so you can cut your way into one of these majestic beasts or slam down a wall so you can get that juicy loot from inside. Last but not least, we're going to go along vehicle routes where you can find an off-road hatchback or helicopter crash sites. If you want to be able to drive around in majestic beast, you need to find one and fix it first. I definitely recommend looking along these purple snakes I've drawn out. This is the highest density of off-road hatchback spawns, as well as done the same thing here for helicopter crash sites that you can find some of the best loot in the game in. Well, that's about it from me. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe. I'll have more coming soon.